the paint, not giving up wide open shots.
And they have one of the worst point differentials, so they have not been in many contests, the Utah Jazz, but that's a three knocked down by George.
Does, and they'll think about the bigger picture after the game, but during the game, as you said, they're just worried about one thing.
This one is launched from the outside, and George has a three.
Stop here and a scratch, and I think you'll see some of the wind go out of the Jazz.
They're going to try a three, though, and get it. So many clutch baskets this year, doesn't he, Stu?
Yeah.
Really late in the game. He's performing well, but they're trading 3 for 2.
George.
4-3 Utah. Three-point shot by the rookie Castle out of UConn. Jazz right back. Sexton drops it inside, ball tapped away. Walker kept that ball above his head and was able to get it back out to Keyonte George. Johnson airballs a three. Jazz back in front court. Keyonte winds up. Splash. Collier out front. Eubanks straddles the three-point line, hands it out to the hot hand of Keyonte. Hey, what do you say, T? Feed the beast?
Feed the beast.
19. Make that 20 for Castle. He's averaged 6 blocks, T, as you mentioned. Tonight he has 2. That was his second against the Jazz. But he's averaged 6. Keyonte has to rush a shot, and he hits the triple.
You don't talk about the finger. It's a finger roll.
Busted it back out.
It's a finger floater. If I say it enough times, I think you'll agree with me. In Los Angeles to help close out that game.
It just doesn't matter how much attention that he gets, because he is at the top of the scouting report as Keyonte George nails another 3.
But Walker on that rebound cannot bring it down low. Luckily, the out-of-bounds line was there.
George, there you go. You know, Hornacek, Stockton, it's been the MO of the Warriors for years, and that's the 3-ball. 20 makes in all.
Yeah, and of course, as Keyonte takes the first shot, that's good news for him.
Now the Jazz on that rebound, they wasted no time through trying to push it back in transition. Keyonte wide open up the wing. Bang! We'll probably use upwards to 14, 15 players. Keyonte.
Williams making his season debut. 1-3, Keyonte George.
You're in a better position, but when you're moving, when you're sliding to that baseline, it's tough.
JC off to Keyonte George. Knocks it down on his first attempt for George. That ball deflected. Filipowski comes out of the pack quickly, pushes ahead to Williams to the corner. Keyonte. Bang. Clarkson flip, short, rebound on his back. Ball still loose. Cody. Keyonte. Got it!
All those were really good last night. Collins. Now long range, Keyonte George, and he knocks it in.
To start the season from the three-point line. Very impressive from deep.
Keyonte George lets it fly.
Credit Collins for setting a good screen there. The Nuggets just couldn't get around him. Stellar.
Keyonte George.
We're going to count it.
And a potential 4-point play here as Gordon trying to get to the three-point shooter.
The things I think that Denver can do better in the second half all rose.
His lead was 25. Keyonte George, and he knocks in the triple.
Yeah, Westbrook got lost.
Colin Sexton's basically the veteran out there right now. That is a 3 for Keyonte George. Not off to a great start on the shooting side of things, but he has ability. He knocks that one down. And the young bull, Colin Sexton, the former Cavalier, finds George. 52-38. It's their largest lead at 14 for the Jazz. 22 baskets for the Bulls tonight. George contested 3 over Williams. 8 minutes left, 5-point Utah lead.
Oh, he traveled.
George shakes, shoots, and hits again. He's got 26.
He's laughing at the bench.
Giddy pinned up against the glass by Walker Kessler.
tell you, this Utah Jazz team is out here hustling, boy.
George counts a three, and it's a 12-point lead. Timeout, Billy Donovan. That was the last foul to give for the Bulls. So we hit the 2-minute mark. George, contested three.
Oh, man.
Keyonte.
Oh, he's waving in the car. He's waving.
Utah had a 33-point performance in the last game against the Bulls. The Jazz coming off their only win of the season in Chicago, and there is Keyonte George. And the latest coming on Monday against the Cavs with those stats in those categories for Dame. George above the break three. To George, the second-year player, using the marking screen. He won't hesitate to shoot the three.
8 points as Grimes gets the start tonight. Keyonte George answers with a triple, and oh, that's a pure three-pointer. Shot clock hits 7. Keyonte straight away 3. Gafford runs inside. John Collins hits the deck. Powell can't finish, and Markkanen with the rebound.
That's the best defensive series of the night. Right
Absolutely. There. And then in transition, they knock down the triple.
In the wins, he's been scoring a little bit less, 25.2, and shooting about 26% from 3. So,
wow, that's clutch. He spins around and looks at Will Hardy and Keyonte George, the second-year pro out of Baylor.
And Jordan recognizing it, kicking the ball, perfect timing, nice offensive possession for the Kings.
Kings 5 of 9 from behind the arc. George looking for an answer. Oh man, John Collins calling for it against Mason. They whip it around the horn here. Keyonte George. Man,
really nice defensive possession.
Gonna go for the home run, 86-64. Williams to George. And it falls.
The Jazz coming off a loss to the Lakers. They're 0-2 in the Emirates NBA Cup. George fires a 3 and puts it in. Keyonte George, he gets hyped out there. He loves to talk.
Unselfish pass there from Steph Castle. He could have taken that 3 ball himself.
George takes it and makes it.
You'll find out.
No Wemby, no Vassell, no Sohan for the Spurs. George, 3.
It was the patient dribble right there by Brunson. He knew the defender could not get back in front. He took total control of that possession.
George catch and shoot. The Jazz love their transition.
John Collins just seems to be in great position for the Jazz as he pulls down his 6th board of the half. George straight away 3 and rolls home a triple.
Getting this thing started off the right way offensively.
Christian Brown having a career year in scoring. 16.1 points a game. Here's Keyonte. He'll fire up a triple and good. He picks up where he left off. Rear miss by Jokic. Finally the rebound to Potter. Here comes Keyonte again. Little Scotland pop 3. Bang! George rises up once again. He's feeling it. Pure 3. Little slip, but actually the replay showed that he stepped on the foot of Peyton Watson, so there was no foul. Here's Collier in the paint. Gives it up to Keyonte. 5 on the shot. Takes a deep triple. Got it. Here's Walker in the paint. Did not take the shot. Back out front. George, the triple away and good.
Right for the Jazz. We always talk about how important this third quarter is to come out and establish. Lauren Green just talked about the physicality that the Jazz brought. Let's see if they can continue to do that.
Little catch and shoot.
Been able to be physical. When you talk about block shots, you have to mention Donovan Clingan for sure. He continues to rehab. And for some players, of course, it's time away from their families during the holiday season. So get around young kids, really enjoy that. George banks in a triple.
Modified offense, Katie. Guys are finding out still where their premium shots are coming from. Collins sprays it out to George. Baseline jumper. Hits nothing but net.
Really rattled this Utah offense.
Sure feels that way, at least a little bit.
I mean,
Keegan Murray getting ready to come back into the ball game, and Keyonte George.
Confident seeing it go through. I don't know what is.
Back out top to George. Knocks down another deep ball.
Sexton against Hardaway Jr. Colin Sexton shoots the pass inside to Kessler. To the corner to George. A three is through.
And he banked it, George.
Multiple skills from the corner. Good looking shot, but it came off the iron for Hardaway Jr. Keyonte George on the other end. Triples falling down.
They still haven't missed.
Kessler comes high to get it poked away, but he goes to get it on the sideline. George with a jumper. Yes!
Goodness.
They are so hot. Nice block by one of the top shot blockers in the league. George with a step back three from the corner. That is through.
George against Hardaway. Rises up, the three's away and good. I tell you, confidence is sky high right now for the second year.
They're up 106-99. Still 7:20 left. Keyonte George for three, and that is through. Marketing puts it on the deck, trying to power his way inside. Gives to Collins, who finds Sexton. Top side to George. Triple try, bang! It's through for three. That one hurts.
6 straight losses here at Delta Center, just 2-11 overall. Keyonte out of the wing. Shot clock rolls to 7. He'll take the triple. It's up. How about that start? How about that?
Rebounding is one of the strengths of the Jazz team. Another offensive board as Markkanen tips it out. And George knocks down that three-pointer.
So the Knicks have done what they're supposed to do. Beat teams they're supposed to beat. Now they're going to be tested, and you can't get off the bad starts against some of these good teams.
George fires away and knocks down another. He has shown a toughness that when you watch it every night, you realize it's a big part of his success. And George knocks down another three. George not a great three-point shooter.
Hand first. He's aggressive. Keyonte George, former Baylor bench. Triples.
Jovic missing underneath. Kessler now has a double-double. 10 points and 10 rebounds. 13th double-double for him. George. Well, the pain continues here in the Heat's house tonight. It came in with a 7-25 record, but Eric Spoelstra always says this. You don't play the record. You play to win each game, and Miami's just not even competitive in this one as Keyonte George buries.
Score, there's a tendency to relax, and teams have done it before for the Jazz, getting back right on the bucket or the rebound.
Jazz spread the floor. Potter in one corner and Keyonte in the other. There's that search dribble. George, the corner three, pocket. 3 black jerseys right on his back.
And Williams tried to get that shot up before Walker Kessler could recover the help.
Shot good, Keyonte. On a Wednesday night in Salt Lake. Keyonte looking for 3. Stayed there, posed, and drilled it. He goes for 31 in Salt Lake. From the corner, Keyonte.
34 points per game in 5 games. 34 points per game on Friday.
Do you have any fish today, by the way?
No, I did.
Yeah, okay. We'll try to get some later tonight, though. It'll be Keyonte. A long rebound for Collier. He's got Keyonte George. He's not passing.
That's tough.
Yep.
That's tough.
Catch and shoot, and a timeout for Willie Green. He's got his 5th. It's rare when Trey's been in foul trouble. Very rare. Keyonte George.
It's tough to sit back on Keyonte George.
And he'll be picked up with 2 to play. Get out of here healthy, up 9-19. It'll be George, corner 3. And they got to keep her down.
Because you're taking care of and valuing that basketball.
It started 0 for 4. Good look. Keyonte George, nobody challenging that three-point shot. You have 2 days off, and now you're resting. Okay? Long 3 and another.
This is a young team that they're built like most young teams are.
Come off assists. That's pretty impressive. It's 37 for the game, as Paris Dawson mentioned.
There is Collier setting up a teammate. It's Keyonte George in the corner. George, Wallace, looked like he might have gotten in a little distress there. He couldn't close out and led to the wide open look for Keyonte George.
Jalen Martin, Colby Jones, and Anthony Gill have checked in for the Wizards. Keyonte leans in for three and knocks it down. That's a confident shot. Keyonte wants it back. Just out of the way. You saw him talk to Shibwe a moment before the inbound. That's right, at shoot-arounds and practices, especially on the road, and the reward has to come.
It's called pride.
Yeah, it is.
And even in the losses.
Shot clock, 4 minutes left in this first quarter. George for three, got it, drained it. Confident shot. Ball's loose, picked up, here's Flip. JC. Fires a strike off to Keyonte. He'll set his feet for three. Got it. Nice shot, didn't hesitate.
He knows where his game, where his bread is buttered, and that's down in that paint.
Here's George. Hits a pure three-pointer. Their head coach would believe the same thing.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I think we're at a point in the season where you're going to start to see them show that as Keyonte George comes in red hot already, especially at his position. He's just figuring out a way to stay relevant. I think that's the other part.
Nice step back three by Keyonte. He's put together 23 off the bench. Ball comes out to Collins. Keyonte. Three missed. Marketing saves it. One more try. Keyonte. And the splash down for three. Collier passes inside out. Walker. Keyonte knocks down the triple. The bucket down low. Nice look off. Little bounce pass. Collier. Keyonte knocks down three.
Oh, that was a nice dime between the legs.
There's a three count. No call.
And Looney's not going to come help as much because he knows that Walker Kessler's back there.
The pass out by Collier. Curry against Collier. Rookie against 16-year pro. Keyonte deep for three. Curry tonight is 4 of 14 from downtown. Keyonte George rips a twine. And so we're getting a three-point show here in the fourth. Drives inside. Draymond. Blocked! Kessler for the third time. The bounce out. Keyonte. The triple. Got it! Got it!
Both teams shooting right around 38% from the feet. George gets a screen, gets the three-point hits. Suns looking for a season sweep over the Jazz. They've won 9 straight. Quick pull as Keyonte George deposits another.
George chased around by Brown. Three. Oh, and he retaliates. It's the 14-3 for Utah.
Players, they'll tell you the handle is the first thing that goes and the toughest thing to get back. Perhaps that's what we are seeing with Kawhi, who is usually pretty meticulous with the ball. George in the corner for three. It's good.
I think Luka Doncic takes a lot of pressure and wear and tear off of him offensively as well, in terms of having to handle the ball, his usage, to, creating for others. So he will benefit there, but you're right, defensively, that's a lot to make up for.
Collins, Marketing, and Clarkson. JC looking for more. Here's Keyonte, rises up, three, got it. With 3 on the clock here in the first half. 85-71, Jazz by 14. Out front, Keyonte, 3, bang. That's Lowry's 4th 30-point game this season and his first since January 7th. Keyonte, 3.
I knew that was good. Right now, his rookie season.
Good hustle by Filipowski, had a hand in the passing lane. Corner, 3 balls up, bang! Keyonte George.
What happens, Bowler, when you're not making shots? Good to see that one going for Keyonte, but when you're not making shots regularly and the other team is playing great defense and scoring.
Coming up on the 4-minute mark of the third. A pass inside. Knock out to Keyonte from Springer. George, 3, down the barrel.
Great vision.
To his 3-point shot. Baseline Jay down by Wiggins, just checked in. First touch and a bucket. His last 8, he's been on fire. Speaking of fire, Keyonte back-to-back triples. He's put together 18. 18 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, a block shot, and a steal. Keyonte George answers with a triple.
Yeah, he's so comfortable with that shot.
Ball pressure on Keyonte. Step back triple. Got it. Just beat the clock. 7th rebound for Walker. Keyonte behind the screen. Splash. Look to the crowd. Front row. They love it. Nice move. He went right, he went left, and then pulled the trigger. Keyonte is just on. I'll tell you, maybe Rising Star Weekend did something too to elevate that confidence. That's 23 for Shingun.
Keyonte pointing at their bench like, hey.
22 points for Thompson. Here's Keyonte. Tremendous game. Leads in 3. Bang!
Wow. He's dialed in, and he knows it. Or try to get all the way to the rim when they're not set. Get to the line.
Here's Key. Open floor. Rise and fire. You bet! 4-point ball game.
That's beautiful.
Keyonte's pick and roll game so improved in year 2. And he hits.
That's his favorite look right there. That first action off that screen.
Back into this road trip gets pretty brutal. They'll have to steal, really unexpectedly steal 1 or 2. Inbound to Keyonte, twirling 3. Got it!
Beautiful.
We still got a ball game. Key needs a 3. Rises for it. Hits it.
Passing big man, just a utility big. Doing it all on both ends right now.
Keyonte rises up. He is so confident. Sacramento, 16-6 run. KJ Martin passes out. Keyonte will take a triple and hit. He had 8 at the half, scoreless in the 3rd, and three buckets here in the 4th. Keyonte on a quick hit 3. Oh, banked it. Window. Keyonte holds out front now. McCollum switches over. George takes a deep triple. Got it. Little by little, growing with more confidence for that 3-point shot. He'll take 8 a game now, T. Jazz so far outscored just by a bucket here in the 3rd quarter, trying to make up ground. Down 11. How about make it 8? Jazz with the ball up by 1. Catch and shoot. 3. Bang! Keyonte, little flex.
They're going right back to him in this 4th quarter.
18 points for KO. Over the top pass. Keyonte's there. Splash.
Yeah, Keyonte's getting to the point where
Jazz won a thriller against Minnesota Friday night. 117-116. Keyonte.
That's his spot, Bowler. That is his spot. Everything going Detroit's way right now. It's a 14-3 run.
Keyonte George fires up a triple. With 6 points, he's hit all 3 shots. Cody gave up a 3. He'll give it to Keyonte. Splash it. 6 for 6, by the way, from the line. Jazz. Corner 3. Keyonte.
That's a lot of length. That's a lot of ability in the perimeter and around the basket, along with Kessler in the paint.
George fires a 3 that is good, drifting.
For 6'5" in blue, Alex Reese. Filipowski was great in the 1st quarter, but has been quiet since. George had to get it off, and he...
Filipowski, but Filipowski was outside the lane, and that's what sets up that putback off of rebound from Adem.
And that is a career-high 10 rebounds and counting for Dembona, as George hits a 3 on the other end. Career-high 4 blocks for Dem. Almost had the steal there.
Look how far they're forced to operate.
George for 3.
Doesn't seem to bother him.
As Herter knocks one down open in that left corner.
First shot made here in quarter number 2. Jazz answer back.
We've seen him get back on top of the rim a little bit more in that Laker game. Just ISO situation going downhill. Mid-range pull-ups. So he's developing himself.
Keyonte fires up a triple. Got it. 7 for Harden. First bucket from the floor. And the Jazz with the ball. They hit their last 5 shots. Make it 6 off the triple by Keyonte.
I like it.
Well, guys, from that huddle, Coach Hardy was very passionate in talking with the team, saying we have to dig in right now, keep digging in. But the biggest thing he said, he pointed to the defensive side.
Clears to Filipowski. Corner is Collier. He'll drive baseline, kick it. That looks good. It is off the hand of Keyonte.
Take that.
Hand and face. My goodness. Porzingis. Pritchard steps back. Tries the 3 again. Walker had the rebound for a moment. Tapped it over it. George rises up. Got that shot down. 17.
Well, Garland tried to sell a foul coming off that screen. Didn't get it that time. Jared Allen just unseen going to the hoop.
Oh, sweet shot. Keyonte. There's Bryce. Leaves it for Oscar. Around the corner comes Keyonte. Backs out. 7 on the shot. He'll take the 3.
That's a shot. That is Keyonte George's shot.
Stockton, as great as he was, underrated. Long range, and Keyonte George, somebody better get his phone number. Nuggets with a decided height advantage tonight in all areas. And once again, Keyonte George.
A couple of Jazz run at him, but it's too late. He already had a good look. Keyonte George.
All right. Threes.
Sheba will set a screen. Oh my goodness! Come on! Wow. That thing bounced 15 feet in the air.
Bounced above the shot clock.
Let's see if George can make one the traditional way. Come on! Oh my goodness! Ah!
And again, looking like a pace where these guys can sit the fourth quarter.
And George makes the 3.
The thumb definitely looked all right in the game.
And you're right, George is beginning to heat up. His second 3, he's got 11 points. That's incredible.
Does that work for all women's outerwear?
You know, the Rockets have a lot of incredible female fans.
Speedy Hyluk is in. Where's number 19? He's guarded by Mathurin.
Yeah, he's primarily a shooter. He's not going to won't beat you off the dribble, but he will shoot it deep.
Shot clock at 4.
Oh, boy. Tyrese was in help position and lost him.
Keontae George with the rebound.
Yeah, well, Collier got knocked down. That's why Obi was free. I'm telling you. Well, he's working hard here on George.
George just hit a 3. He's going to hit again. It's a long 2.
It's been a long year. From the corner, Keyonte hikes it up and buries a corner 3. George, end of the shot clock, connects on a tough 3. Terrence Mann to George Niang, corner 3. Rebound Utah. Allen Sexton coming over the timeline. George steps into a deep 3 and nails it. Inside, Zachary. Good defense that time at the rim by Mikhailuk. Here's Keyonte George, and brother, is he fit? Timeout Atlanta. My goodness. A literal dribble handoff. Sexton will fire, and Keyonte George will connect.
George.
Onyeka. Way above the 3-point line. Staggered screens for him, off the bounce, drills it.
Oh, man.
Catch and shoot, corner 3 is good again for Utah. What a...
Got 17, make that 18 at the half, now 20, and the Blazers have put together a quick 7-0 run, but that's how you stop it with a Keyonte George triple. I think he's gotten faster, maybe because of Collier, because he runs and gets a reward when all's said and done, but also he's been able to rebound the ball with more attitude and strength as Keyonte drops a 3. Filipowski trying to find his position down on the block. Keyonte jab step between the legs, goes to his left, glances at the shot clock, takes the 3. Oh, my. Oh, clutch bucket by Keyonte.
A little shot clock time go down on the wrong side.
Under a minute left, 5 to shoot. Keyonte again, wing 3. Bang!
used Kyle Filipowski's retreat. Just kind of stayed behind him. Just caught him off balance.
Keyonte, we saw him do that not once but twice in OT. Free ball, George. I mean, nothing but net. That was a confident shot off the wing, and George scores his first. Now with 25, averages just 24.9. So right at his season average. Keyonte George knocks it home. 2 of 6 shooting T in the first half, now with 9. Phoenix has lost 3 in a row. First one Pelicans, then the Heat, and then the Magic. Little look back over the shoulders.
Well,
I find one, though. I'm really good
listen,
at that.
when you're an amateur, there's a lot of excuses, bro. I'm telling you, on a golf course.
Keyonte George for 3. This time it falls. 34% on the year.